Hey, what up, YouTube? It's the No Pigeon Podcast. We in it shit. And I'm still working on an intro. But for now, that's going to have to do. And my name is Yucca.
Yeah, I was going to say, your name's still Yucca?
Yes, it is.
So then what's my name?
Well, it's actually Professor Yuck. That's my full title.
Professor Yuckstable.
I identify as a doctorate.
I identify as a slimy, I don't know if it's an insect or what you would classify a slug as. But basically a snail with no shell.
Oh, a shitterbrit.
Yeah, something like that.
And then shitterbrit.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, y'all.
Okay.
I don't know if any of y'all heard of Camille Paglia, but I've seen a video of hers before.
I actually haven't.
That's beautiful. That's part of reacting, right? So this is an excerpt from her talk at the Battle of Ideas. But before we do that, now where was we?
Oh, sorry, I was just dancing that jam right
That's
there.
what you do when the camera's off?
No, well, when that jam playing, you heard that?
Oh, that was fire.
Oof.
That's a banger, right? I told you, man.
Hey.
We got to rap to it one day. All right, cool. So this is an excerpt from Camille Paglia's lecture or whatever, from the Battle of Ideas or whatever, her talk at the Battle of Ideas.
Transgender mania, brother. It's running wild.
Let's check it out. I said, let's check it out.
The Battle of Ideas.
There is something weird, despite that,
Weird.
about the transgender question, right? There is something going on that's beyond the sort of liberation of fluidity. Something else seems to have happened, where many young people in this country now, there's a percentage increase in the number registering for clinical interventions on transgender questions has increased enormously. There's a certain fashion in schools of some sort, and it's a nerve-wracking business. If you're going to get no platformed in...
Is that Beboop?
Where is that meow coming from? Like,
I think it's coming from a fucking, either him.
maybe one of these bitches got a support cat under the table.
I believe it, but let go.
this country at university, you know, Germaine Greer, like, regardless of what one thinks of Germaine Greer, the point is you only have to touch on this question. Ian McEwan, who is completely right on liberal, a novelist, dared to say the slightly wrong thing, and suddenly he kind of has to apologise. And
that's what happened when you go against the liberal war machine and the liberal
hive
machine.
mind.
The hive mind. You know what I'm saying? You get tarred and feathered.
You will be assimilated.
You get beat into submission. Resistance is futile. Right? That's how it goes.
You're a fascist.
You're a fascist.
You're a Nazi.
We're going to shut down everything you say. You're not allowed to speak. You're not allowed to even argue your point. Otherwise, you'll go to prison. But you're the fascist.
100 meters of this zone.
Right? Fuck, Canada's the worst, but let's go.
kind of ridiculed and shamed. So I don't want to get you to say anything you don't believe, but I'm interested in it because I want to be for liberation. I'm not going to stop anyone dressing how they will. But there's something weird about lots of young women wanting to be young men and lots of young men wanting to be women. I don't feel as though it's a great step forward myself. Thoughts?
Well, single motherhood.
We got...
I bet you, I hate to say this, I know this is very, very, very controversial.
Oh my God.
But I believe all this stuff started with women voting.
I mean, here's the thing. Women is very hive-minded in comparison to men.
No, but women need to be the center of attention at all times, right? If you think about it, right?
So if a man could be a woman, then she's gonna be the center of attention.
If black people were fought for equal rights, right? During the civil rights movement.
Right.
While that was going on, all of a sudden a bunch of white women said it. Oh my God, women's rights too. Well, us too. We need rights.
But we all know the real reason. We'll do this on another video. Yeah. The real reason they did that is because of the fucking like powers that be tricked them into thinking that like, hey, if you guys can work, then like
we get double tax,
double rent, double light bill, double everything.
Yeah, separate the family, and I hear that. But the point is they were so easily susceptible to that. You see what I'm saying? And then what happened? They started raising these young boys and young girls in single parent households with the father gone.
Well, giving them the incentive that if you don't have a man in the home, it's okay because Papa Government got you.
Yeah, and then you got these young boys wanting to be just like their mothers because they don't know what a father is, right?
Well, the boys are getting babied.
Closest thing to a father they got is a grandpa and an uncle.
The boys is getting babied, and then the daughters are getting that tough love.
Yeah.
When it like really should be kind of the other way around more so. Like
button heads with their mothers and shit. But yeah, so anyways, let's continue.
Well, I say in the introduction to my new book, my new collection, my particular transgender rebellion came at a time when there wasn't these ideas in the air that the moment you are dissatisfied with the limitations of your present gender definition, that there is this enormous mechanism waiting to alter your body, to halt puberty, to slow your puberty down. People, all very well-meaning and very sympathetic, are there to provide surgical intervention and potential, permanent changes in your body.
Right, it's so natural, but you need a chemical, surgical, what you call it, intervention. You know what I'm saying?
Like there's either like physical alterations or chemical alterations.
And if you don't cut them up and drug them, then they're gonna delete themselves. That's so natural, right? That sounds so natural.
This is healthcare being provided to save lives,
right?
This sounds like some COVID shit.
What were these LGBTQIA plus SSL elemental P's? What were they doing
for the rest of humanity?
Yeah, during the rest. Were they just deleting themselves throughout history because of this? Because where's the stats on that? I want to see the stats on that, right?
Well, and they say, no one until now has felt comfortable, so a lot of people just suffered in silence.
But they wasn't deleting themselves. Now all of a sudden they want to delete themselves. Think about it.
Which there's no going back. Okay, I mean, for me, a sex change operation opens one door but closes many others. Right? So I personally believe that anyone who collaborates in an intrusion into
oh my God, she's a Bajoran.
Don't ever disrespect me looking like a female Bajoran David Bowie.
She talking about the collaborators. They collaborating with Kardashians. The LGBTQ was a bunch of Kardashians. Just telling y'all.
A developing child's body and mind is guilty of child abuse, a crime against humanity, okay, because that child is not prepared to make such a decision, okay. I think that such decisions about sex reassignment surgery must wait when one attains a majority, which would be, it seems to me, a minimum of age 18. I'm very concerned with this.
Well, that's the other thing, too, that cheeses me off the most is that, like, if you're a consenting adult, like, do whatever the fuck you want to do. I have no problem.
I disagree. Do you know how much dumb shit I did at 18? That I'd be like, yo, if they made me do some shit like that, I think about it. At 18, 19, 20, my early 20s, my mid 20s, I was still indoctrinated by the left hive mind. You know,
yes.
Not 100%. But at least with a lot of liberal views, I still believe that victimhood mentality and all that. Now, if I was able to do some drastic shit like that, whoo, I'd be kicking myself in the ass.
I mean, we didn't really have those ideas kind of presented to us, especially not in such a positive open way.
But what I'm saying is that not that extreme, but other things. You know
okay, but no, for example, for me, when I just turned 18, I remember I got my first credit card and I ran it up and fucked it off and fucked up my credit. But like they said I'm an adult. I can vote now. I could buy alcohol. I could get credit cards and then you live and you learn. But the thing is that this shit is a lot of
you can't undo.
It's a lot irreversible.
But that's what I'm saying.
But that's what you're gonna have to live with if you're an adult now. Okay. But like the thing that really gets me about is when they push it on kids, and they also have it where like kids can say to their school or their doctor, and they don't have to tell their parents. That's the real fucked up part for me.
That's fucked up too. That's very, very groomy. You know what I'm saying?
But like, if you're 18, shit. Sorry.
No, I disagree. I don't believe an 18-year-old is an adult.
Well, it sucks when you're not raised in the right situation with the right people. Because if you're 18 who's raised in the right situation by the right parents, then that's not going to be something you're going to do.
I definitely wasn't an adult at 18. I was more focused on, I wanted to rap. I'm going to be a rapper one day. I was still living in fucking fantasy shit, right? Like I wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So imagine motherfuckers that think that being that is normal or what they need to acquire. You know what I'm saying? Lucky for me, it was just rap. But for these motherfuckers, some people will do anything to get to what they want, right? Thinking that it's going to help their fucking whatever, you know? But
because I think that it's become a fashion. Okay, that the transgender definition has become a kind of convenient label for young people who may simply feel alienated. Okay, culturally for many other reasons. Okay, so that in the 1950s they might have become a beatnik. In the 1960s they might have become a hippie and taken mind-expanding drugs.
Just say acid.
And so today you're encouraged to think that it's an alienation is because you are not totally identifying with your particular inherited gender definition. So I'm very concerned about this. I think that a lot of it, I think that the collaboration of the bureaucratic machinery with it has to do with the assault on masculinity. Okay. Okay. So you see, the gender doesn't really exist.
why do you think that is? Why do you think they're trying to assault masculinity?
I mean, I think it's the fucking commies, bro.
I mean, yeah, that is a big part of it. But also, I think because when you have masculinity, not only do you have savagery and offense, but you also have defense. You have protection. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you have a father in the home, you know, like the majority of children that are touched as in their youth, that's because I seen a video of a pedophile dude, right? And he was talking about how he preferred to go for people that didn't have a father.
I
in
remember
the house,
seeing
right?
that, right?
Yeah. Right? And that allows for more. And now you have these other so-called liberals that want to go for your children.
Well, it's funny too because like right before this whole transgender mania really came into the forefront and like kind of took over a lot of shit was the war on toxic masculinity. Yep. You know what I mean? And so it's just like
it's going in obvious, very logical stages that we're seeing. We're seeing before our eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. At first they're like, "Oh, don't bully and acceptance and peace and love," and then they're like, "Okay, well that's toxic masculinity." And then it's like, now we just do whatever the fuck you want, and it's like, and for me, most of it, like I said, I didn't really give a fuck. But when it comes to the kids, that's where it gets too much, man.
Trick love the kids.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not really polarity. I mean, everything's all about expanding women's rights, but also terminating men, okay, and defining men out of existence.
Look at all these feminists in the audience, like, I don't know how I feel about this. Especially Glasses over here. She's sexy, she get it, but I'm just saying. And this one, Grumps right here.
Look at the one in the front. Look at her. She's like,
This one's sleeping. She don't even want to be involved in that.
That blonde-haired chick, though, in the front, she looked like this girl doesn't know what she's talking about.
Hold up, they can't see. Oh, hold up, they can't see.
Oh, they can't see that one.
What a...
There
y'all go. Y'all see Grumps? Grumps
is like, y'all see men deserve to be canceled.
Y'all see Grumps and Sleep over there? Yeah.
That's Grumpy and Sleepy from the fucking Seven Dwarves.
Is by definition toxic. Okay? Masculinity doesn't exist. And you see, this is the proof of it. But now I began all of my studies. My book Sexual Personae began as a dissertation at Yale graduate school on androgyny. I've always been fascinated, attracted, to the subject of androgyny, and that's what.
Yeah, we can tell David Bowie.
Yeah, like I said,
the woman who fell from Earth.
Sexual personae is. I explored it in history, but the more I explored it, I realized that that historically, the movement toward androgyny occurs in late phases of culture. Okay, as a civilization is starting to unravel. Okay, and that you can find it again and again and again through history in the Greek art. Okay, you can see it happening. All of a sudden, okay, there's a kind of there's the sculptures of handsome nude young men athletes that used to be very robust. Okay, in the archaic period, suddenly began to seem like wet noodles. Okay, toward the end. Okay, and that the people who live in such periods, a late phase of culture, whether it's the Hellenistic era, whether it's the Roman Empire, whether it's the mauve decade of Oscar Wilde in the 1890s, whether it's Weimar Germany. People who live at such times, okay, feel that they're very sophisticated, they're very cosmopolitan, okay. Homosexuality, heterosexuality, so what? Anything goes, and so on. All right, and so, but from the perspective of historical distance, okay, you can see that it's a culture that no longer believes in itself, okay. And then what you invariably get are
that was deep. She's got bars. She's doing the bus rides. She's doing
I know,
she's
she's like from this era, that era, this era,
yeah.
like.
But you understand what with the Hellenistic eras and
I don't know all those eras that she's talking about, but I know what she's saying about like the Greco-Roman eras.
Well, the Hellias.
Yeah,
that was what the Greeks called themselves. They didn't call themselves Greeks. They called themselves the Hellas. So the Hellenistic period of the Hellas ran shit, right? Like the Hellenistic Ptolemy age of Egypt, right? That was when the Hellas or Helios or whatever ruled Egypt, right?
Okay, so but the thing is now, and how I think it is nowadays, is that like,
Ptolemy.
I mean, we know the history, and we know that is kind of what happens. You know what I mean? When she said, is when the unraveling of a society.
But they see it from a distance. But when we see it before our eyes, we don't see. We don't have that bird's eye view. That's not what
I was even going to say. What I was trying to say is that people that are against the West or American kind of like ideas and thoughts and shit like that, they know that like, okay, we are still on some traditional kind of shit like Russia or China or
literally the rest of the world.
Yeah, most of the world. And so they're helping and aiding with that, like even like TikTok from China.
But that goes back to women.
They're pushing us and our culture in that direction to hurt us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like other cultures in the past, they maybe didn't know the history of it. And they didn't probably have other people pushing them in that direction. Yeah. So like, oh my God, man.
But a lot of men notice. And a lot of men that are raised by single mothers, they have this emotional, sensitive connection. So they're just like, how dare you say that? They can't stand outside them damn selves,
Yeah.
Without their fucking emotions, And that's the problem is men are supposed to be super objective. Men should be objective. And if you can't hear a different opinion, then that's a feminine trait. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never stop feeling that way. But let's go.
Are people who are convinced of the power of heroic masculinity, okay, on the edges, whether they're the Vandals and the Huns, okay, or whether they're the barbarians of ISIS, okay, you see them, starting to mass on the outsides of the culture, and that's what we have right now. That there is a tremendous and rather terrifying disconnect between the infatuation with the transgender movement in our own culture and what's going on out there, okay. Right. Yeah. And so, I mean, that's why I'm concerned. I feel it's ominous. Okay. I question whether the transgender choice is indeed genuine in every single case. But what concerns me is when well-meaning adults, believe that they're helping people by making it easier some permanent change in the body from which there is no going back. For example, Brown University, one of the elite Ivy League schools in the United States, put sex reassignment surgery on its student insurance program. Okay, wow. so that it becomes they can get a sex change in college. I think I thought, oh my Lord. Okay, I feel that's evil. Okay, because what it does to young people today facing an uncertain job market. Okay, what it says, people who are questioning their gender while they're at Brown University suddenly feel, well, it's like economically a better judgment for me to move now on this rather than to wait till I don't have a job and living in my parents' basement. Okay, and so actually the adult community trying to be understanding, okay, is I think involved in possibly making a permanent change in someone's life that could have tragic consequences.
See, when she says the adult community, all I'm hearing is women. You know what I'm saying? That's genuinely what I'm hearing. Now, even when I'm thinking about them feminine liberal dudes, I'm still thinking women. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because that's that. Oh, I care about what you feel and how you think, and you're not thinking about them. That's a feminine quality.
Empath.
I'm an empath.
Oh.
Also, what's your sign? Because I believe that
the stars and when you were born and where they were in the sky affects. Oh my God!
You can basically when you were born affects your personality, and you can't change that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some racist ass shit.
That's what space racism.
Yeah, like Abba and Preach said, like that's space racism. It's fucking.
Oh my god, man.
You know
So I want to touch on again. I said the main thing that bothers me is about the kids and the influence and all that shit. But the other thing too is actually there's two more things. Sports, like I mean that's fucked up.
Again, all they're doing is eradicating women by letting women are pushing for their own demise, and it's fucking embarrassing to just witness it and be like,
and the demise of men. But the other thing too is that people in jail, that like grown ass men who want to now identify as a female, and then there's certain places out there in America that they're going to be allowed to go to a woman's prison.
well, I identify as a female, so
Yeah, let me go get some bitches. I mean, what?
no, I really do. I identify as a woman, so
Wow, cool, man.
just letting you know.
That's dope.
Just letting the world know, you know what I'm saying? Just letting the world know, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, it's been another one. It's been an unfortunate, depressing one, but it's been another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, comment down below. Send us some video ideas if you really about that life.
Off to email.
You know what I'm saying? We got Rumble, we got Twitter, we got Instagram, we got it all.
Actually, not even just like it, dislike if you really trying to.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I dare you.
That shit hurt my heart. All right, man. Peace.